first, let's hear Lance Armstrong throw some shade at Chris Froome. Check this out.
He is hard to watch.
I can't lie.
He looks like
sure is good and strong, and I don't know what he's looking at when he looks down. Man, that's hard to watch.
he looks like he's suffering.
Yeah.
And then
But I don't think he's suffering.
And because a couple people were testing him and going off the front in front of him a little bit of gaps. He has this slow grind back, so you think, oh man, he's suffering, and he looks kind of sloppy in a way, right? He doesn't look like he's just full of it. And then as they progressed up the climb, then he put the hammer down.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to control this pace. It's amazing.
You know what? I saw a tweet this morning from Michael Rasmussen that actually had a photo of his gearing, and this to me, this blew me away. So I know that the Monte shot or the Golden shot is steep. Chris Froome, the favorite and the yellow jersey and the defending champion of Tour de France, his gearing 38 in the front, 32 in the back. That's like mountain bike gearing. I mean, and think about if you'd have rolled up with 38, 32 in 1974, the last time they did this in the Tour de France, they'd have laughed you right out of the peloton. So that's what like fat, slow old men like you and I ride. That's not what the
Do you think he ever even used that? It didn't look like Froome was spinning that fast.
Oh, I think he did. I think
was?
Absolutely. If it's 11% and you want to stay in the saddle, he absolutely used that gear.
All right, we learned a phrase today watching the coverage from Jens. The proper way to say to be a sportsman is square and fair. We learned that from Jens Voigt today. Not fair and square.
And as hard as it is for me to listen to Jens Voigt, I gotta say that's what. There it is. That's a 32. I mean, that's like a small pizza down at Domino's. Wow. That's what the yellow jersey was riding. That's unbelievable. I mean, that just shows you this is a different sport. This is a different sport. I think it's great.
So how did Richie Porte crash? It seems that Dan Martin said afterwards that his rear wheel locked up because that line he took in the corner was pretty sketchy. So it seems that maybe Richie had a catastrophic failure of the wheel, of the internals, the free hub body maybe. But man, lucky he was wearing a helmet, because if he wasn't wearing a helmet, man, that's why I tell people, always wear your helmet, because you never know what's going to happen to your bike. So your wheel could lock up, flip you over the bars. So Richie Porte, unfortunately, out of the Tour de France, stage 9, 2017, out in a neck brace. So hopefully his injuries aren't too bad. I think he was talking to reporters soon after at the hospital, so it doesn't seem too bad, but definitely, unfortunately, out of the Tour de France. But that Chris Froome shade thrown by Lance there, the 32 cassette, the mountain bike gearing. So, I mean, 32 cassette for the win. All those people laughing at me, you know, for 32 cassette years ago. Now Chris Froome's winning the Tour de France on that. Another thing is, was Chris Froome's seat height really low, or was that just me? Or was he on someone else's bike? Let me know down below. Fabio Aru attacked Chris Froome. As Chris Froome puts the hand up, Fabio Aru did the dog act and attacked Chris Froome, and that won him a lot of hate. But also then Team Astana was pulling for Froome on the last 10k back into Champion for the finish line. So I'm like, first they're attacking Froome at the wrong time, and then they're his teammates. So maybe they said, look, let's just try and smooth over the Froome. Well, Aru fucked up. Let's work for Froome now. So that was good to see. But that's just, you don't attack. You don't want to win a bike race because you attacked. It's a bit like YouTube, isn't it? It's like you attack the person who helped your channel get bigger. Bit of a dog strong act, but anyway. So we have what else we have? So we had Aru, we had Geraint Thomas crashing out as well. It looked on the same corner as Harada. How did these two guys crash at different times in the same corner? Was there oil on the road? Was there like a rock on the road? Was there like what happened? What caused two experienced professional riders to crash at the same point at different times? What was on that dodgy bit of road? I think that stage shouldn't have been called the Queen stage. It should be called the fucking X Games stage. It was crazy. We should have had an uphill finish, man. It should have been an uphill finish on that epic climb, because the riders didn't go full gas on the climb because they knew they had that long downhill and then that flat bit. So it was, you know, it was as day one by climbers, but it's also one on the descent. And I think they should have, you know, made a classic stage of an uphill finish. The uphill finish is what it's about. But that one was definitely for the downhillers, and Bardet is a local, and that was MotoGP. You know, even Lance Armstrong said that. That was MotoGP, and I've always been saying it. You know, pro cycling's the hardest sport on the planet, harder than MotoGP is not a sport, that's a skill. Yeah, cycling, you have to do 7 watts per kilo, then downhill like a MotoGP expert. I mean, that was crazy. Can you imagine a MotoGP expert up with a Bardet or Froome? I mean, it'd be good competition to see. You got 23, 25 mil tyres, wearing a little lycra skin suit with a 200 gram foam helmet, and you're doing 80 mile an hour down a little skinny col. So, but stage 9, that was nail biting. That was the most epic race I've ever seen in Tour de France. So can you think of a more epic stage than that? I mean, it was like, you know, the 2 top contenders crashing out. Just, it's so stuff. I've been up late watching Tour de France. Got the track, got the read. We're out here in Thailand, living the dream, riding every day, carving the fuck up. Vegan life's easy, but let us know down below what's been the highlight Tour de France for you this year. For me, it was seeing Chris Froome spinning in the 38-32 and just dropping, just doing it easy, and other people grinding. I'm thinking, when a pro cyclist gonna learn that you need to spin to win? You know, like seeing pro cyclists grind like amateurs up that climb. I'm like, what? Like, why would you put all that effort into the Tour de France and then lose time on a climb because your mechanic couldn't be asked putting a 32 cassette on your bike? I mean, like, what? Like, how does that work? How does that work? How do you have these multi-million-dollar trade teams can't even afford a fucking 105 32 cassette? Or they don't even have a mechanic who knows how to put a 32 cassette on a short cage rear derailleur Shimano. Like, it's just, it baffles the brain. But Lance Armstrong says some good points, and throwing mad shade at Jens Voigt as well, and mad shade at Chris Froome. But anyway, we'll see at stage 10. That's a good rest day now. Anyway, crazy stage.